back to the Ties That Bind, RoguesPort. We're back after a week off, which means I get to be twice as mean to all these people today, and I've been looking forward to it for at least a week, if not longer. So, I guess we'll get right into it. How about we describe the last things we remember from 2 weeks ago, which might as well have been 150 years ago, but 2 weeks ago. And we're going to start with Beatrice. Uh-oh. There you go.
Flipping through my little note.
What happened with B?
Oh, where did we start? We went dress shopping. That was really cute. Ambrose told me that I needed to get my dad to go to his parents' party, which is kind of sus. But I did, and I convinced my dad to go to the party. I also invited Parker to the party. We all went to a Chaos Theory concert, and some man tried to fuck with me, and then Noah wedged herself between the two of us, and then we left.
Right. Yep. Right. That's pretty straightforward. Noah, what happened with Noah last week?
Last week. Wasn't that okay? Did she have the conversation with her parents? Her parents got invited to the party. That's it.
Yep.
They got invited, and her dad was like, "Nope." But she's like, "Yep," and he got pissed. So he's a real douche. He's a real doucher. And then we went to the concert. B and Noah just kind of vibed, while Tessa and V went off and did their own thing.
That's true. And speaking of V, what was up with V last time?
V learned that she gets to kill Noah's dad. Which I'm pretty excited about. I had a heart-to-heart with Tessa trying to, I don't know, get them to stand up and speak out and not be a pushover for shitty people. So, it was pretty good, yeah.
Yep, that's true. And Tessa, what happened with Tessa last time?
Tessa got kind of roped into this drama with Remy, because Remy is now playing in Chaos Theory, probably just to spite me, and she's trying to start beef with me and trying to start beef between me and the rest of the band, and saying that I said stuff. So we went to the Chaos Theory concert to see them play, and we kind of had a confrontation, but I didn't really want to fight Remy, but we kind of stepped up a little bit, but it didn't really go anywhere. And then the one of the band members, and I forget who it was, I think it was Lindsay, right? Came out and saw the whole thing going down and was like, "Remy, what is your problem?" So that was good. And then we went back in because I wanted to make sure that B and Noah were okay. Yeah.
And they seem to be. And if I remember correctly, that dude that Noah confronted trying to hit on B ended up having a bad night in a back alley at the end of that episode, if I remember correctly. One of the members of V's Web got a hold of him. So, all right. Well, that seems to be a pretty decent place to start. So let's say it's the next day. Still, this coming weekend is going to be the big masquerade ball, and that all happened on a Saturday. I mean, we can move ahead to school unless anybody has something they want to talk to or do on the weekends. But actually, wait a minute. I might have something to do on the weekends. Let's do something. What? Beatrice. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, say afternoon, maybe just after lunch. Would you say Beatrice hangs out on the weekends at the firehouse, or does she have places she goes? Does she hang out with friends? What's her normal average weekend like?
I think if it was like a Friday or Saturday, she might go out. But if it's a Sunday afternoon, she's probably just like chilling. Either in that like rec room area where they all were, like all the guys were last episode, or maybe in her room. She's probably
okay. Well, just for shits and giggles, let's say she's hanging out in her room. And yeah, after just a few minutes, there's a soft knock on the door, and whoever it is waits to be. They learned long ago not to just bust in to B's room. Through whatever circumstances that might have been, they know better now.
Come in.
The door opens, and Hamish peeks his head in. And he says, "Hey, kid, you got time to talk?" He looks pretty serious. A little. Matter of fact, he looks like he hasn't slept much. His eyes are sunken, bags under his eyes.
Sure. You okay?
Really? No, I'm not. B. I've got something I need to show you. And he sort of walks over, and he's got a thumb drive in his hand, and he points at your laptop. He says, "You want to plug this in?"
I think she just takes it from him.
Okay. And does she plug it in? Do you turn it on? So it's on it, or no?
Maybe looks at it to see if there's anything written on
it. It is unmarked. It looks well used. It's beat up, but it doesn't have any writing on it or anything.
Okay, then she'll plug it into her laptop.
Okay. It opens up, and there's a video file on it. And he says, let's watch this. Maybe you can explain something for me. And if B does not immediately hit play, Hamish reaches over and does it for you. And what you watch... Oh, go ahead.
She hits play.
Okay. It comes up, and it's security camera footage. And it is from one of the what had been assumed to be abandoned warehouses downtown, but for whatever reason, apparently had working security cameras. And it literally, almost center frame, you see Beatrice walk across an alley, sit down, look around, make sure nobody's around, and bend down. Her back is to the camera. But after a few minutes, you see a little light, and you see starts to spread. She backs up, and she turns to walk away from a fire after looking at it for quite some time. And he pauses it right on a freeze frame of Beatrice looking right dead straight towards this security camera.
How clear is it that it's me? How high quality is the security camera?
It's not perfect. It's not 4K, but Beatrice has, bright red. It is a color. It has bright red. Her bright red hair is visible. Yes. It's relatively modern for what it's worth. But it's 1080, and it's not the highest quality. But I mean, at least between the two of you, there's no doubt that it's you. Whether the world at large might know that, it's up to you if you want to deny it. But it's pretty obvious that Hamish believes what he believes. And
She's
he's
not
just
gonna
looking at
say anything unless he says something first.
you. He reaches down and pulls the thumb drive out. And then the video sort of, the program closes. Says the security camera was from a warehouse, and an insurance company got it. It turns out the camera was burnt beyond recognition. None of us could have gotten anything off of it, but insurance companies are pretty serious about that sort of thing. Managed to pull off a video. And me being the lead investigator, they sent it to me. Beatrice, what are you doing? What are you doing? Of all people?
It wasn't supposed to get that big. It was just a little dumpster fire. It was for a bet. It was stupid, but it wasn't supposed to get that big.
You see, as you speak, and he hears the same excuses from you that he's heard from everybody else, that his face sort of sets. It turns into just a concrete statue right there in front of your face. Beatrice, people died. I can't protect you from this. What? He's obviously at a loss for words. You need to make sure people don't find out from me. If there's somebody specific you think is going to be hurt by this, they should probably hear it from you. But tomorrow afternoon, I have an appointment downtown, and I have to turn this over.
Files get corrupted all the time.
He
I didn't mean
looks
to
away
hurt
and
anybody.
so now I know you didn't. I mean, it's pretty obvious you picked an abandoned section of town, and you mean a lot to me. You mean a lot to a lot of people. We're not gonna do the perp walk or anything like that. It's but people there are families that need to know what happened. You have 24 hours, B. You need to, for the love of God, at least tell William. Don't make me do it. If I tell him and he finds out it's true, I don't know what's going to happen to the man. But I can't let this go. One of the others, you might have a chance, and I'm sorry to say that. But rules are rules. I'm sorry, B.
I don't know if she says anything. I think she maybe just goes back to what she was doing.
He watches you for a long time, like an awkward amount of time. And he doesn't say anything. He just shakes his head and he goes, they need to hear it from you, B. Bye. And as he's shutting the door, he stops. And he's about to leave. And he comes back in relatively quickly, as if he's made a decision. He shuts the door behind him. And he says, answer me this. What could we have done differently, B? What could we have done differently? Did we not? Did we treat you badly?
There's nothing you could have done.
Well, I believe you. But William won't. William's going to blame himself. So you need to come up with a better excuse than that. I'm going to go. I'm going to get drunk. And I'm going to try to sleep. I haven't slept for 2 days since I got this. I'm sorry, B. And this time he does turn around to leave. And shuts
I
the door behind him.
think he takes the flash drive with him.
Yes. He grabbed it out of your computer and just put it in his pocket. I mean, if you later on today decide you want to go try to get it away from him, that's certainly
I
an
would
option.
like to try to get. I'll do that later.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have something for a Sunday? How about V? V. Let's. V has a certain schedule to keep, right? She has, due to her skin, has, let's say, a drawback that she has to feed, quote unquote, every so often. Do you have your skin handy where you could read that by chance, or sort of describe the situation that I'm talking about?
Talking about my thirsty?
Yeah. How does that read, or what does that do?
So the Black Widow needs to feed to stay alert. If you haven't fed lately, you get a -1 on any attack. If you have fed, you get a +1. And so I think feeding means more of like desire and the aggression. It's not always blood. But I think it needs to be something physical.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, at this point, V, it's been a couple of days. I would think it's Sunday afternoon. Maybe. Did V go out on a retribution last time?
I think I would like to assume she helped with the dude that was on Friday or whatever.
Oh, right. The dude.
But
Yeah, okay.
It's still been a few.
Gotcha. So, all right. So V, Aurelia taps on your door, and or is it even a door, or is it more like a curtain?
It's like a curtain, yeah.
Okay. She sort of taps on whatever solid surface it is, but she is not, as much as the firemen have determined to never ever go into B's room without knocking or without waiting to be invited. Aurelia has no such compunction and walks right in. She comes in and goes, Vivian, I need a favor. I would very much appreciate it if you would. And you could tell that she, by just pausing, which is completely unlike her, she pauses for just a split second and says, I would very much appreciate it if you would handle taking Raquel out for her first mission.
Of course, yeah. What mission?
It doesn't have to be. It's not. It shouldn't be violent. There is a man, middle-aged, probably in his late 40s, who's been harassing women at this bar, and she hands you the name of a bar. And basically, it's information gathering. It's attempting to find an inn, determine whether or not he deserves retribution, and figure that should be safe enough for Raquel. You're the only one I can really trust who's still active that can do this. I can't obviously let Onyx or Louisa Volatoli take her training, so I'd very much appreciate this.
Do you think she's ready?
It has been brought to my attention that I don't have a choice as to whether I think she's ready. It's time. So, yes, she has to be.
Her decision, or?
She pauses for a very long time. It's my decision. I can always say no, but some of us in the web have a certain instinct, and mine happens to be the strongest, perhaps because I'm the oldest. And that instinct is insistent that we do not have freeloaders and people earn their keep. And frankly, in my opinion, someday I won't be here to lead the web. And I believe Raquel is bound perhaps to be my replacement. So there's no more putting it off. If you don't mind, tonight would be an excellent opportunity.
Yeah. Of course. Why do you think Raquel's your replacement? Why not, anybody else?
Emily is too soft-hearted. Louisa's too hard-hearted. Onyx is Onyx. And frankly, you're too young. So when I found Raquel, she has a certain fire, a certain drive. She challenges me constantly. And as much as I may despise that, it is a trait of a leader. I can't deny that. And I am doing everyone a disservice by keeping her here and untrained. So.
Okay. All right. I'll train her.
Thank you. If you need any help, let me know. If you don't mind talking to Raquel about this, that would save me an awkward conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. And she turns and walks off to whatever she does.
Side note, was Raquel the one that I'm planning on taking to the dance to kill Carter? I thought so.
As far as I know, yes. Raquel's the one who's constantly fighting with Aurelia.
Yeah.
And screaming at her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good.
She's the newbie.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's, yeah. So what do you do?
I'm gonna go over to her room and pop my head in.
Okay, she's listening to something and reading a book. She's got headphones in. And she looks up, but takes an earphone out.
Hey, get ready. We're gonna go out tonight.
See your eyes get real big? For real?
Yeah. Don't get too fucking crazy, but yes.
All right. Does Aurelia know, or is this a secret?
No, she knows. She asked me to train you.
Oh, well. Okay. Would have been more fun if it was a secret, but okay.
It can be a secret if you want it to be a secret.
No, but the house.
Tell anybody.
No, she smiles. She's, gosh, I don't know. All right. Okay, great. And she sort of takes her earphones out. She sets everything down on the bed. She goes, "Where are we going? What are we doing?"
To a bar. It's more of intel. It's not necessarily aggression. But we just need to monitor the situation, okay?
Sure. Yeah. No, great. No, you're in charge. I'll do whatever you tell me. I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right. And she goes over and immediately starts trying to sort of figure out what to wear. And I mean, technically you're not old enough to get in most bars, but
I assume that I have a fake ID.
You have a very convincing fake ID.
Yeah, I assume. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Let's do a quick cut to that night at the bar. It's called the Layaway. That's the name of the bar, and it's got this like Jimmy Buffett sort of theme to it. It's not the nicest bar in town. Raquel is dressed. I don't want to say to the nines. It's not like she's in her Sunday, or not in like a little black dress or anything. But she is better dressed than most people other at this bar. Men or women, everybody's wearing blue jeans, flannel, or shorts, depending on how hot it is. And when you come in, sure enough, there's 7, 8 people sitting at the bar, and everybody's watching a game on TV. Now, one particular guy is much louder than the others. He's got white hair. It's a little bit messy. He's obviously been drinking for a while. At this point, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and but he's got people sitting next to him, and women. Nobody seems to be too bothered by him. And he's the only guy in this bar that matches the description Aurelia gave you. Everybody else is either younger or considerably older. This is the only late 40s, early 50s guy in the place.
Does he have a wedding ring on?
He does have a wedding ring on, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna point him out and say, "That's our guy."
And she looks over, and right as she looks over, he's like leaning on this lady next to him and like whispering in her ear, and she is not responding, but she's not like running off or anything. She doesn't slap him, but she's obviously trying to ignore him.
What's his
name? What's his name?
Yeah.
His name is Paul. That's all you have. You don't have a last name, but his first name is Paul.
Okay. I'm gonna go over in between him and the woman and say, "Paul, are you gonna buy me a drink?"
At first, he's a little annoyed, but as soon as he hears a young lady's voice, he turns around and goes, "Well, all right, you talked me into it. What do you have?"
Just a vodka crayon.
Sure. Hey, Broad, let's get a vodka crayon over here. And the girl behind the bar is like, ugh. And she starts making one, and it takes a second. He's sort of talking you up. He goes, "I've never seen you around here, honey."
Really? I feel like we just met the other day. You don't remember me?
I'm pretty sure I would remember you. But no, if you say we met, we met. We do anything else?
Maybe. If you don't remember, then maybe it wasn't very good, so.
He laughs, and he sort of chuckles. And there's a guy on one side was the lady he was talking to. On the other side, from where he was sitting, is a guy, and he sort of looks over at him, and he chuckles at the guy. The guy can't help but chuckle. That was pretty funny. So he chuckles and shakes his head. And Paul goes, "Well, I'm willing to give it another shot, make it more memorable."
No?
When you say that, he blinks. He goes, "Are you serious?" "Yeah."
Okay. I'm gonna wait for the drink. And
Okay.
when I get it, I'm gonna give it to the woman next to me that he was like kind of being weird with.
Okay.
And
And when you do that, she sort of takes your elbow, and not squeezing hard, but like gives you a look like, "Are you okay?" Just gives you that look. Doesn't say it.
I'm just gonna wink at her.
She sort of okay, and lets you move on. And Paul's like, "Well, it's obvious that he is completely taken off guard by this. He has never had anybody be this aggressive with him, and he is trying to be cool, failing miserably." You glance back at Raquel, and she is just staring openly, watching you, just absorbing everything that she's watching right now. And yeah, he goes, "Let's go. You got a car?"
No, we can just go out back. It's just gonna be quick, right?
Uh, yeah, geez, okay. Gosh. At this point, even he is like, keep your voice down, Jesus. But he looks around, he goes, hey, babe, I'll be right back, save my seat. And sort of swats the girl next to him on the ass, like where she's sitting on the stool. And she's, jeez. And she can't believe this guy is getting, some girl's hitting on this guy. She just can't believe it. And he tries to sort of offer you his arm like some sort of gentleman, like he's going to walk you out back.
I'll take it. And I think when I do, I'm going to whisper, can I bring my sister?
And he glances back, and pretty obvious you mean Raquel. It's the only person in the bar he doesn't recognize. And he goes, are you fucking with me right now?
No. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. No, I can't wait to see if there's a prank show happening right now. But fuck it, I'm not gonna shit. Yeah, let's go.
If you don't want to, it's okay. We can,
Oh no. Roll a shut someone down. Just curious. Let's see how this goes.
Okay. Ooh, it'll be a 12.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, shit. Hell yes. Let's go. She's welcome. You got any friends? They're welcome too. Let's all go. I'm sure we can. I mean, I do have a car. We can go somewhere more comfortable than the back.
No, it's okay. You didn't last very long last time, anyways.
Okay. And at this point, he's like, "Did I fucking black out? What the hell?" He's obviously got this look on his face. And Raquel's watching you leave. Do you sort of nod at her? You give her a nod or something? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, she sort of picks it. She couldn't believe how fast this is going. She's like, oh my God. She starts whispering like, this is so fast. I can't believe what's going on. I can't believe blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and he looks over at Raquel. He goes, hey, my name's Paul. Nice to meet you. She goes, hi. And she's acting younger, but it's just her self-consciousness sort of peeking through a little bit. But she doesn't even say what her name is. She's not even sure if she should give her real name.
Question: what am I looking for? I know it's supposed to be bloody, but he's just being creepy with people?
Right now he's being creepy. You will be the one to determine whether or not this guy deserves the full force and weight of the web to fall on his head.
Mm-hmm.
You get to decide whether this guy deserves it. You get to determine the best way to go about it. You get to, this is basically your mark, and what you decide is what's going to happen. If you decide this guy's okay, then so be it.
Can I gaze into the abyss?
Sure.
And see what he's really done?
Okay. As you guys sort of get out, are you planning on going just to the back room or out in the back of the bar?
I assume it's like a maintenance closet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not fucking in public.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. You get right as you find the door and you open it, and the maintenance closet's actually pretty big. There's it's the size of a small room, and you decide you want to gaze into the abyss to see if this guy deserves everything he gets. And it's not something you've really done before. This is, up until this point, maybe it's because you have Raquel with you. Maybe it's because maybe you've just finally reached a certain level. You don't know exactly why, but something has changed as you look at this dude. And as he's going into this closet and he lets Raquel go in ahead of him, everything slows down, and it slows and it slows until it stops. And you just have enough time to realize that everything's sort of gone monochrome, black and white. Except you can see the pounding in his neck, and you can see in where his wrist, where he's holding the door open, you can see the blood flowing through his veins. You can't see that in Raquel. You don't see that if you were to glance behind you. You don't see anything else. And then sort of barely noticeable, you hear a little tap next to you on the floor. And you look over, and it's like this post has tap and hit the floor. And you look over next to you, and another tap. And the same sort of post has landed on the other side of you. You realize those aren't posts. They got like hairs on them and little claws at the end. And you turn around, and staring you right in the face is a black widow spider that fills the entire hallway. And it's making this clicking, like growling, hungry noise. And all of 8 of its eyes are glassy, unreadable, staring at you. And it goes, "Ask what you want, child. What do you wish to know?" And it's all coming like really staccato and very, almost as if somebody was playing it on like some sort of instrument and was able to make it talk. It's the most inhuman thing you've ever seen. Frankly, you get to decide how frightened you are of this thing.
I think, yeah. Yeah, I think she's really fucking scared. I don't think she's breathing, and she's just staring, and she's gonna say, "Does he deserve to die?"
It takes a long second for you to sort of gather yourself and ask the question, because there's no hostility here. This spider, its head, which is, I mean, as big as my head, is just tilts every once in a while, waiting for you to speak. And it goes, "He is male, yes?
Yes?
Then he is food. He is sustenance. He is for you to play with, to do as you will." And the voice is almost confused. "Why would you let him go free? Do you wish to reproduce?"
No. No, I don't want to kill the wrong person if they don't deserve it.
He is male. And you see, at this point, venom dripping off these giant fucking mandibles right there. "He is for you to take as you see fit. You answer to no one. He is yours. They are all yours. Take him. Kill him. Make an example."
Okay. You're right.
"Kill." And all of a sudden, as soon as that comes, your vision returns back to normal, and everything starts to go back to normal speed. And you hear him sort of like, "All right, let's," and he sort of, he's been wearing a tie, like half worn, like half down. He's got sort of a, not really a business suit, but he's wearing like a dress shirt, sort of half undone, and over jeans. And he's taking his tie off as he walks into the closet behind Raquel.
Can he sit or something? Is there a way, or am I just gonna have to push him against a wall?
You tell me. You tell me. You got this scene.
How drunk is he?
He is buzzed. He is not shit faced.
Okay. She's gonna say, "How do you feel about blindfolds?"
Oh shit! I mean, God dang. That's fine with me. You're not gonna like, slit my throat while I'm blindfolded, are you?
No, I just want it to be a surprise.
Sure.
And
yeah, what the hell? Go for it.
She's gonna take the tie and cover his eyes And then she's gonna look at Raquel and give a nod. And
Raquel looks at you and silently just sort of like shrugs, like, what, like what? Last you told her this was an information gathering mission.
I'm gonna roll to lash out physically.
Okay, roll.
Okay.
You are at a -1 unless you have considered yourself fed yet.
I don't think that I'm fed.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. It'll be an 8 still.
Okay. On a lash out physically, on an 8, you, which I should have this absolutely pulled up already, but yet I do not. On a 7 to 9, you harm them, but you get to choose one. They learn something about you and gain a string on you. They learn something about your true nature and gain a string on you. I get to decide how bad the harm turns out, or you become your darkest self.
I want to become my darkest self.
Okay, all right. This is our first darkest self, I think, right? Folks, I think so. So you describe, before we describe your darkest self, describe how you lash out physically. How do you picture that going down?
Because I'm not trying to like kill him yet. I just want to hurt him.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna choke him.
Okay, you can find some rags or rope or something in here. It's a maintenance closet. A cord. Yeah, you find an electrical cord, an extension cord, and you wrap it around his neck, and you start. And he's like sort of struggling a little bit, and he's turning red, but he's trying to let it go. And while this is going on, you turn into your darkest self. So why don't you describe, for the audience, please, what that entails?
Okay. It says, you are tired of being underestimated. You've been holding back in order to protect them all. None of them appreciate what you can do to them, only what you can do for them. Make them change their mind, make them yours, poison them, drain them, all of them, until they beg you to tell them what they can do for you.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty dark self. So, all right. You currently have this guy at your mercy. I mean, he's getting close to reaching up. I mean, his hands are still free. And Raquel's just watching, like, I don't want to say in horror, but this is intense, considering she's never been anywhere like this before. She's never done this. What do you do?
Oh, I want to kill him.
Okay. You pull this thing tight, and he's like, he can't even speak at this point. And you are shockingly strong. He is in no way prepared for how strong you were. And he pulls at this thing. He's trying to get this off of his neck, and he's starting to lash around a little bit. And he's starting to kick things and make a bit of noise. And he's just going, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, I mean, Raquel's just standing there, goes, what are you doing? Are you going to do that here now?
Yeah.
But there's people outside. What? He's turning purple at this point. I mean, he's really looking rough.
I'm going to keep going.
Okay. At this point, he tries to stand up. He's trying to throw you off. And you are still just holding on to him tight. And while you are very strong, he is still bigger than you. If you want this to happen, Raquel's going to have to help you.
I'm going to look at her. I'm going to say, hold him down.
Do another shut someone down roll for me. Yeah. She's staring at you with, honest to God, fear in her eyes at this point. My room is so dark. Oh, what'd you get? I'm sorry?
7.
7. Okay. It works, but you come across poorly and you get a condition. So this is to Raquel, and the condition you're going to get is ruthless or cold-blooded. Let's say cold-blooded is the condition you get. Raquel is shocked, frankly, at this. But you do get to choose one of the below. She can lose a string on you, which I don't believe she has. You can gain a string on her, if you wish. You can give her a condition, or you can take one forward for her.
I'm gonna give her a condition.
Okay, what's that condition?
Weak.
Ooh, okay. But it does work, and she goes and she sort of grabs him and sort of just body blows him back into the chair. And she grabs the back of the chair around him, and she wraps her legs around him and wraps her legs around the chair too, just holding him down. Meanwhile, you just wrap this thing around your wrist, and you are laying down, basically, on this. And it is rough, and Raquel has to watch this guy face to face. And after a minute or 2, or 3, or 5, you finally feel something go, and what had been the tightest electrical cord, as tight as you could get it, loosens for a second before you can tighten it again, because something has collapsed. And all of a sudden, this gurgle, this horrifying gurgle. And a few minutes later, it's a done deal. And now you have a dead guy in a maintenance closet. At the layaway.
Once he's dead, I am gonna look at Raquel and say, killing him has to be a secret.
She looks, but we weren't supposed to. This wasn't supposed to happen. What's going on?
A job is a job.
Okay. And she's, for all of her confidence and bravado back home, it's all empty now. And she goes, what are we going to do with him? What are we going to do with his body?
We get rid of him.
Okay, yeah, I'll help. How do we do that?
Pick him up.
Okay. She picks him up. She helps sort of between the two of you guys can get him off the ground. He's not like particularly overweight. He's a little skinny actually. And you guys manage to pick this guy up. And the door to the back, like physically outside, is right there. If you decided to go out that way, you just go out into the hallway for a second and then turn, and you're right outside.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say. Okay, we'll do something fun here. Do a runaway roll. We're gonna see how well you hide this dude.
Okay.
That's with volatile.
You think
And you get well, this isn't a lash out, so you don't get the +1.
Yeah, I'd say, Ooh, okay, it's a 12.
Okay.
Thank God.
You get away. Matter of fact, you get away so well, you find a place for the guy. You out back, like behind some garbage bags or something, unless you have a place that you could think of you want to dump them.
No.
Yeah, there's a place in the back alley behind a dumpster where you find a place he can easily not be found for a few days. It looks like the dumpster just got emptied today. And you make your way inside, and the lady who he had been harassing sort of notices you come back in and doesn't seem to have seen you leave. But she goes, well, hey, honey, everything okay?
Yeah, more than okay. Why?
All right, well, just be careful around Paul. He's a bit of an asshole. He can get aggressive sometimes, okay?
He ever hurt you?
Yeah, nothing I couldn't take, but just, I've been around the block a few times. You two look a little fresh off the boat. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful, okay?
I'm always careful.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for getting him off my ass. I appreciate it.
Yeah. He won't be coming around much longer.
What's that mean? She smiles.
I think we ruined this place for him. Let's just say that.
Oh, well, shit. Well, then, hell, I owe you a drink. You want something to drink?
We're good. We gotta go home. Think so.
All right. Well, honey, what's your name? I at least need to know your name. My name's Amy.
V.
V. All right. Well, that works. Well, thanks, V. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And she goes back to her drink, watching her show, and seems much lighter for it. Raquel does not speak the entire way home. When she gets back, Aurelia's waiting. Says, "How did it go?" Asking Raquel. Raquel does not respond and silently goes back to her room. And Aurelia sort of looks at you for a second. So how did it go?
Good.
Good. And that'll cut that scene. And yeah, we'll move on to Monday at school. Unless somebody has something they want to do Sunday night before school starts the next week. Anything they want to say or do? Talk to? B, did you want to do something that evening about this thing, or are you going to wait till the next day?
He said his meeting was in the morning, didn't he?
He said in the afternoon. He said after lunch.
Okay, I was like, I don't think I have time to wait till the morning. I'm gonna. Does he go to sleep that night, Hamish?
If you want to check on him, you will see. Actually, when you go to check on him in his room, he's not there. The thumb drive is there. It's on his nightstand.
Is he home?
Last you heard, he was home. He's not. I mean, he's on duty tonight. He can't be leaving. He's got to be around here somewhere, but he's not in his room.
That's fair. I want to like look around the station and like see where he is in relation to his room, because I don't want to go in and he like turns the corner.
Okay, well, that's fair. You look around and he is downstairs. He's chatting with Parker down on a couch, and he doesn't seem to be. I mean, he's not like ha ha ha, funny, laughing, having a good time, but he's apparently just sort of hanging out down there, trying to pretend everything's normal, talking to Parker on the couch downstairs on the main floor. All the bedrooms are upstairs on the second floor.
Okay, my new question is, do we have any other flash drives that I'm aware of in the station?
I mean, it's hard to say that you've memorized every single flash drive anybody might have bought.
I see a flash drive in like a drawer or something.
I will say generally no, not just laying around. You have several that you use for school. There's probably a couple in the chief's office if you need to do that.
Well, if I have one, then I'll just take one of mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got more than enough.
I'll just take one of my. I don't know what 17-year-old is carrying a flash drive in 2023, but
well, I mean, you maybe it's one school gave you or something, but it's
because I don't think I've seen a flash drive in like a decade. But I am gonna take mine and I'm gonna go into Hamish's room and I'm gonna swap them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's relatively easy. During the time you're doing that, Hamish keeps his windows open for whatever reason. That's just the way he likes to sleep at night, with the windows open, the breeze blowing in. And right as you swap out his for yours, you can hear an argument going on outside. And one of the voices is Hamish. You don't really recognize the other one. It's dark at this point. But yeah, you go to check it out, and just by sort of barely glancing out the window, you can tell that it's Hamish is facing your direction, and whoever he's arguing with is facing away from you. Now, B doesn't have the best eyesight in the world, especially at night, and you don't recognize the voice necessarily, but it sounds almost like that person has maybe a N95 mask on or something. I mean, it's like whoever they're talking to cloth. And Hamish is getting pretty animated, and this other guy's getting pretty animated. It's obviously a dude. Is getting pretty animated. And as you sit there and watch, and just sort of try to make out the details, and it's so difficult, you all of a sudden hear "boo!" and you see a big flash of light. And what you can make out is there is a muzzle flash that just went off. And I need you to roll a keep your cool, please, because all you see right now is fire in the darkness.
Oh, fuck. Ah, no, my dice fell. What's that with? That was cold?
Keep your cools with cold. So,
I had a 7.
a 7. Okay. Well, that means you succeed. But I think it means you get to decide whether or not you actually go through with it or not. I had this pulled up. What did I do with it? Golly. Me and my computer skills. Okay. So, yes, on a 7 to 9, you... Oh, I get to tell you, you get to decide what you are going to do in this situation, and I get to tell you whether that would leave you vulnerable or how it might not, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. So, in this situation, you see somebody, one of these two guys, has pulled a gun and shot somebody.
I'm going outside.
Okay. You want to go outside and help whatever is going on, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you do that and Hamish sees you, there is a chance he's going to realize you won't have thought, and this is a weird way to put this, but you will still have this thumb drive in your hand.
Fuck. Well,
that's how it'll leave you vulnerable, but it's up to you whether you go through with it or not.
I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it because he got shot, then I want to help him.
Okay.
And if he shot the other guy, that's incredible blackmail. So.
Okay. You run outside, and of course, a couple of the other guys are downstairs. Bill and what's his name? Connor? Yes. Are both downstairs, and they sort of look, what the hell was that? And you run past them, and they see you run outside, and they're not far behind you, but you're out there first. And by the time you get outside, whoever Hamish was arguing with has run off, and you can just barely hear them running down around the corner. And Hamish is laying there in the alley. Looks like he's been shot in the gut. And he's holding his stomach, and he's bleeding. And he's like, and he can't really speak. And he looks at you, and he makes eye contact with you. And he glances down, and he does see the thumb drive in your hand. And then he looks up at you. But he doesn't have the air right now to say anything. What does he see on your face? And or do you say anything? Anything like that? What happens in this moment where he's made eye contact with you?
I think that he sees just rage, probably. And
really?
as she'll see him and see the guy run off in the other direction. And I think she runs over to the big garage door, for the trucks. Mm-hmm. And she bangs on it a couple times, and then she's taken off after the other dude. Okay.
You bang on it a couple times, and by that point, Bill and Connor are already getting outside. What the hell's going on? And you're starting to run off, and you have to run past Hamish again to do this. And they see him laying there on the ground. He goes, holy shit. Of course, they're trained paramedics. They know what to do. They go get their first aid kit. And one thing you do notice as you run by, Hamish is unconscious at this point. And the pool of blood is growing. So you run off, you run around the corner, and it is just starting to rain. I mean, like, it's starting to pour.
Of course.
And of course it is. And the street lights, the reflections off the wet pavement, the noise, the car lights, everything else. It's always so hard for B to get where she's going at night, especially if she's in a hurry in this sort of situation. Let's have you roll. Let's see how good you do at this. You will roll a. Let's roll a gaze into the abyss for you. Let's see how this goes.
Nah.
Uh-oh, no? So I didn't hear what you said. What did you get? Oh, okay. You get out there, and for a split second, you feel like you just know where the fire was. You just know where that fire was coming from. And the sensation is so strange to you, so alien, that it pulls you up short. And you look in that direction, but wherever this guy was, he's gone. Dude is just out of it. But there for a second, you know, any fire in the area, you would have known where that was. I mean, and it's thrilling to a certain extent, but it's also a little scary, a little intense. But it passes just as quickly as it shows up. And you are now standing in the rain, surrounded by a lot of lights and confusion and traffic. I mean, you're not out in the street, but you know. And yeah, that's you. What do you do from here? You have this. You're clutching this thumb drive in your hand.
I think I throw it into the street and just let a car run it over.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. You throw it out in the street, and it takes a second or two before one, but then, and you hear car run it over, and it's shattered into a million pieces. And yeah, if that was the only copy Hamish had, which he told you it was, but if he was telling the truth, then your evidence against you is probably gone.
Then I guess I'll go back to the station.
By the time you get there, it's. I mean, they're in full, emergency mode. Everybody's doing their business. You know better than to get involved in this. You stand aside, helping if you're asked to. Just a couple of minutes, not even minutes, 30 seconds later, after you get back to them, you already hear the ambulance, being pulled up, and he's still breathing when they put him on, and Bill sort of comes over and gives you a big hug, and he goes, he's still breathing, B, don't worry, I'm sure he's gonna be fine. Did you see who did this?
She just shakes her head.
He nods, and he pulls you in. I mean, Bill's always a hugger. That's just his way. And he pulls you in again. He goes, "Okay, well, you did right to run through here and bang. You did the right thing. Good job, kid. I'm proud of you, kid." And he sort of smiles a little bit, and he chuckles, and good job. All right. You should probably turn in. I'm sure you're going to want to go see him at the hospital. But nobody's going to be able to go see him. He's got to go to surgery. I'm sure. There's no doubt about that. But I'll keep you in the loop. I'll text you when I find anything out. Okay.
All right. Good night. And I think before she goes to her room for the night, she's gonna go back to Hamish's room and snatch her flash drive off his off his nightstand, and then she'll go to bed.
Okay. And there you go. And she goes to bed. how easily does B sleep? Does she sleep well? Is it like, hey, I'm safe, I'm good to go, or what?
I mean, I don't think it's great. Like her dad just got shot, but also she's not gonna go to prison. So
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
probably like a 56% sleep night.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, let's. There are other players here. Let me focus on somebody else. I feel remiss here. So, the next day, people wake up, go to school. Hooray, hooray! Everybody's great. Um, there are a few people talking about the shooting that happened last night. I mean, it's a small town. People talk, but it's just something that happened. Most people, other than a few people ask B about it, and people talk amongst each other. But as the day goes on, and unless somebody has somebody they want to talk to at school, speak now. Noah, you've had this weird like nagging feeling at the back of your neck, sort of most of the day. Like every time you turn around, you're expecting somebody to be standing there. I mean, it's just weird. And eventually, by the time lunch comes around, you realize it's Maggie. Maggie is like just hanging out around you. And she's not talking. I mean, she's always a wallflower. She sort of grins when you make eye contact, and she sort of waves a little bit. And when you go to sit down at lunch, does Noah sit with anybody at lunch? Where does Noah sit at lunch?
I think Noah just sits wherever. Like, I don't think she's like great friends with anyone, but like I don't think anybody necessarily like hates her. So it's just like,
Sure.
She finds like the closest empty spot, and then whoever's around is around.
Okay. So yeah, as you go to sit down, you realize that Maggie sits down right next to you, and you're sitting down. There's actually Kevin and Copper are sort of hanging out at this table, and they're sort of looking at you like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they're playing like Magic the Gathering there instead of eating. And hey, you guys want to play? And Maggie just sort of shakes her head, like quietly, doesn't say anything, but shakes her head no.
I'm good.
Okay. Boom! And he lays down some cards. I don't know enough about Magic. Hey, gotcha!
Kids try
You
to teach it
lose.
to me, and it seemed like the most complicated thing. I was like, oh, I can't do this.
I feel like I'm the kind of guy who should know how to do this, and I don't, and I apologize to everyone watching who is shaking their head in embarrassment of me right now. But Maggie's just sort of picking at her food, just hanging out, sort of right across the table from you.
Hey, what's up?
She sort of looks up and her eyes get kind of wide. She goes, "Oh hey, I hope you don't care. I thought maybe." And she sort of looks at the other guys, but they're obviously deep into their game and not paying any attention. They're like yelling at each other, like loud. And they go, she goes, "I just thought, maybe we were friends now, and I would hang out. Is that okay? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be here. I apologize. This is."
It's cool. You can chill. I just didn't know if like you like needed something.
No, I'm sorry. I
mean, you don't have to go anywhere. It's like fine.
And she's at this point flushed red. She is super embarrassed for some reason, and she's like, I'm sorry. I just feel really safe around you. That's all. And she gets up and she leaves. She starts to walk off to sit somewhere else.
What?
But I mean, you're welcome to chase her down if you want. I mean, whatever you want to do. If you want to sit there and just watch her go, that's fine too. But she's obviously like embarrassed, and she goes finds a spot at a table, where nobody else is really paying any attention to her. In one corner.
I'll like, I'm not gonna like chase after her, but I'll like eat my lunch a little bit and then leisurely walk toward her.
Okay. She doesn't even notice that you're coming because she is so intent on keeping her head down and her eyes down as she's obviously going over this whole conversation in her head for the 50th time by the time you get over there. And when you finally like pull up, like, get right there close to her, she looks up and audibly gasps and goes, "Oh, hi.
Hey,
Um,
you're like fine. Like it's. I don't know like why you feel super safe with me because I'm like probably the smallest person in this school, but it's like cool. Like you can hang around me. I don't care.
she's like, well, I like hanging around you, and you just seem like you're not you're not gonna you're not gonna hurt me, and, that's nice, and I appreciate that."
Do you think a lot of people are gonna hurt you?
She raises her eyebrows. Yeah.
Well, that's not like that's not good. Like that's not good at all. Like who? Somebody tried to hurt you? Like did somebody say something?
Oh no, 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 no. I shouldn't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just trying to get to your thought
Did
process.
you want to sit down? You can sit down. Here, you can have my seat. And she
No,
sits up.
you
She
don't have to.
stands
There's
up.
plenty of seats.
And she, right. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. And she sits back down.
Okay, you said that it's a little worrisome.
Oh, I don't mean to. I don't mean to worry you. That was. And she's getting more and more flustered the more she talks. She goes, I'm I think you're really great, and I like hanging out near you. If that bothers you though, I'll stop. I promise.
No, I mean it doesn't bother me. Usually people don't like to hang around me, so it's fine.
You don't have to. You don't have to lie. I mean, it's obvious. Everybody wants to hang out with you. What are you talking about?
She's making that face, like just.
She goes, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. You're the coolest girl in the class, as far as I know.
That
Whatever."
doesn't feel right, but okay. That doesn't feel like an accurate statement.
Well,
I mean, we're in the same class as
anyway,
V. She's really cool.
yeah, V's kind of scary though. She's one that
That's
I'm pretty sure would hurt me.
that's cool though. I mean, sometimes you need
That's
a little
not. That's
scary.
she
Maybe not
sort of
towards
she
you, but towards other people.
she sort of grins and chuckles a little bit at that, and that she loosens up a little bit. She goes, "Well, let's just say I prefer to hang out with you. That's all."
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, well, thank you. It's very nice. I really appreciate that you want to go to the party, and that it's okay if I go with you. That's.
Yeah,
I mean, I just that's nice.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it should be fun. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to too many parties, but you know, seemed like a good one to go
Okay.
to, I guess.
And right about then, the bell rings for lunch to end, and she goes, "Here, I made you this," and she hands you a piece of paper, and she runs off. I mean, grabs her stuff, leaves the tray there, grabs her books, and physically runs, like actually runs out of the cafeteria.
Okay.
And you unfold this piece of paper, and it is an amazing drawing of you from one side, like as if she was drawing it from her perspective in her chair in class in homeroom. And no, it's the girl has talent. This girl knows what she's doing. It is gorgeous. She's even drawn your hair is perfect, exactly right. Um, she like started to color in like your lips and your eyes. Everything else is not colored in yet. That's just what she started with, and apparently decided to hand it to you undone, not completely finished yet. But yeah, so now you have a very nice drawing of yourself that Maggie made.
That's so sweet. She'll put it like in her bag.
Okay. Okay. The rest of school goes more or less without incident, unless Tessa has an incident. Unless Tessa wants to cause an incident. Maybe Tessa wants to cause some problems. No? I don't blame you if you did. Remy is not at school today. You do notice that.
Good.
uh, so, after school, excuse me, let's say today is, I'm going to just randomly say that Mondays are one of the days you work after school. Why not? Tessa, you go to work after school. It's insanely boring. You have maybe 3 people show up during the entire shift. You close, and you get in your car. Somebody's cooking. Something smells great.
We lost some of what you said. You froze.
Motherfucker! God damn it! All right.
You get in your car.
All right, you get in your car. Yeah, I just got a little thing saying my internet was unstable, which is ridiculous. Anyway, okay, so you get in your car, you make it home. You get to your apartment, and you're about to put the keys in the door, and you realize somebody out here is cooking. It smells delicious. But, people cook, shit happens. You walk in, and you realize someone at your house is cooking. Someone in your apartment is cooking. You walk in, you look around. Did the kids teach themselves how to cook? Are they on the fucking stove right now? No. Your mother is there. And she is stirring a pot of what you can only guess is macaroni and cheese. Like Kraft instant mac and cheese. And the kids are sitting at the table apparently doing homework. This is a unique situation. This is not something you normally see. So nobody's noticed you come in just yet. What is Tessa's first internal reaction to this? How does Tessa react to this vision?
I think she kind of drops her stuff by the front door and immediately goes into the kitchen. And you said it's her mom that's cooking?
Yes, it is.
So I think she immediately goes to like swoop in and kind of like take over. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't think I left work late. I was gonna make dinner when I got home. I'm really sorry.
No. And she looks at you. When she turns around, she looks as well rested as you may have ever seen her. She doesn't look strung out. She doesn't look like she's on her 3rd day without going to sleep. She doesn't look great. She's got a lot of catching up to do, but she smiles. She gives you a smile, which is something she doesn't do very often at all. And she goes, no, honey, I wanted to cook. You're always working so hard. It's time that I do my part. And I just want to say, we don't have much other than Kraft mac and cheese and hot dogs, but hey, it's a start, right? And she's sort of looking at you, almost begging for your approval at this point.
Mom, are you okay?
Yes, of course. I'm better than I've been in a long time. I know you haven't seen me much lately. And she sort of smiles at the children, who were over there just sort of, messing around in whatever book they have, their workbooks. And she goes, but I've been getting a lot of help lately, and I mean, you're very busy, and I don't blame you. I know that's not your fault.
I'm sorry. I should have done
What?
more. I
She she shakes her head and she puts a finger up to your lips when you talk to get you to stop talking. That's a habit she had when you were a little girl. And she says, "No, honey, it's you have absolutely nothing to apologize for. You've kept us all from from being kicked out on the street if it wasn't for you." And I realize that that's been a lot of work and a lot of responsibility on you. And
it's okay.
well, then if it's you can tell me if it's okay after you taste this and you don't keel over. So here you go. And she gets a big spoon and a bowl and makes you a big bowl of Kraft mac and cheese with cut up hot dogs in it.
It's one of our staples. Thanks, I guess.
And she smiles.
I'll clean the dishes when I'm done.
Well, I'll fight you on that, but I'm not going to fight you on it right now. So that's fine. Have a seat. And she makes another couple of bowls for the kids. And for 45 minutes, an hour, you guys, the kids seem super into this, almost like this isn't surprising to them. You get the distinct impression she has been, oftentimes when you are not home, she is here and she has been apparently making an effort for a little while. And the kids tell about their day, and for that time while everybody's sitting around the table, the world has faded away, and you guys are all a family again, and it's beautiful and it's heartwarming. And she stands up and she starts collecting the dishes, and she grabs yours first, and then grabs the kids. Says, "All right, kids, time for bed. You guys go on." And they, of course, they fight it. And there's a little fight while she puts the dishes in the sink. She goes, "No, now Tessa and I need to have a talk, so go to bed." Okay. And they give everybody hugs, big hugs, kisses, and they run off to get ready for bed. They've had to put themselves to bed any number of times over the years. They are well aware of how to do it. And as your mom, uh, Brittany, as your mom, starts sort of cleaning the dishes, the bowls, says, "Tessa, I need you to sit down. I want to have a talk with you, okay?"
Okay. Did something happen? Did I do something?
No, no, dear, you're fine. Something did happen. I've been going to meetings at church for the last month or so. There's a very nice young man who runs these meetings. Well, I mean, he's older than me. I guess I shouldn't call him a young man. He just sort of gives off that energy, if you know what I'm saying. But he runs the meetings. He's been very helpful. There were several of us there, and basically, I realize that if I don't change, then I'll die someday in a gutter, and the world will never have known I was here. And it's time for me to change that. And she pauses because she doesn't really know. She knows what she has to say, but it's obvious now that she's saying it, she's not sure exactly what to do. Tessa, you deserve all the credit in the world if these kids turn out okay, not me.
That's not true.
She shakes her head up. It's just you and me, Tessa. Come on. We both know what's been going on. Where did you come from just now?
From work.
Where did you come from? Exactly.
Everybody works, Mom.
First of all, talk to your friends. I guarantee you are one of very few of them that work.
I'm just trying to help.
I know.
I know it's hard on you to have all 5 of us here. doing what I can.
I know, and I appreciate it. I'm trying to give you all the credit for it, okay? And you notice as she's done this, she has poured 2 glasses of milk, and she sets the chocolate syrup down next to you and your milk. And she warms hers up in the microwave. She's one of these weirdos who likes warm milk. And she finally sits down, and Tessa, I'm just gonna have to come out and say it. We're gonna move. We're moving. And she smiles.
What? But the school year's not over. I just came to the school. We all just came to these new schools. Do you think it's a good idea to move the kids in the middle of the year?
Well, the kids will be fine. The kids will be much better off where we're going. We're going to New Orleans East. It's a district in New Orleans, and the church has several properties there where they put up people who are trying to get back on their feet for single mothers and their children. And
But
I've been doing well enough that they've offered me and my family a spot.
but you're not. What about Kyle?
Let's just say Kyle doesn't really count as a participatory father, okay?
Yeah, but he lives here.
He lives here once every 2 weeks when he decides to show up. You know that as well as I do. I'm getting away from Kyle. Kyle can go fuck himself. Okay?
Good, Mom. I'm so proud of you.
And you see her tear up a little bit when you say that. Tessa may give that out easily, but your mother needs to hear that obviously so badly. Whatever it is you just said hit her hard. And she reaches over and she takes your hand and she squeezes tightly. She goes, I knew you'd understand. Now, I've paid the apartment up through the end of the month, okay? So you're free to stay. You have until then to find a place. And whenever you decide to move, let us know, okay? And we'll make sure to write. And if I can get any extra money, I'll send it your way.
No, what do you mean? I'll just go with you guys. It's not that big of a deal. I can switch schools. It'll be fine. Maybe I can do online school. That way I can work more.
No, honey, I'm not making myself clear. It's for single mothers and their young children. You're too old, and honestly, the church is going to sort of they need people who can fit a certain look and a certain social acceptance level, and a single mother with many kids, little babies on her hip fits what they're looking for. And honey, I'm afraid there's just not room for you there. I'm sorry.
So you're just leaving again?
Well, it's not the same this time, Tessa. It's different.
Look, I will work. I will help pay the bills. I always have. I just
Stop. I don't need you to fight me on this, okay? This is what's going to happen. You have a job here. You have a school here. You've made yourself valuable here. You have friends here. And frankly, it's going to be hard enough with the kids. I can't be worried about you too.
Yeah, but I can help you, Mom.
No. You've been helping me enough. You deserve to be able to help yourself. And you can tell by the way she's saying this, she's practiced this part a lot. She's practiced this conversation. I think you'll be great. You'll be fine. We'll let you know the address as soon as we get down there. and you can come visit, and we'll meet you out at a Starbucks or something, and it'll be great.
I just don't understand, Mom. I thought things were going well here. I know you didn't want us to move in to begin with, but like I thought I had shown you that it was working. Don't make me go back, Mom.
Go back where?
I can't go back to Aunt Jessica's.
Look, as long as you take care of yourself, you won't have to go back there. I understand you had a hard time there, but they're family, and I would appreciate you not, talking bad about them, okay? I know you don't want to go back. There's no reason. Nobody's making you go back. I'm sure you can find an apartment here. You can stay on a friend's couch until you turn 18. They'll be able to, then you'll be able to get an apartment anywhere that you like.
When are you leaving?
There's a pause. We're leaving in the morning, Tessa. I didn't want you to come home from school and nobody be here without knowing what was going on. So I wanted to make dinner, have a nice night. And you don't want to ruin this night, do you? It's been nice.
I think Tessa just gets up, and she grabs her backpack and she throws it. I assume Tessa sleeps on the couch,
Okay.
in the living room, and she throws her stuff in there, but she goes down the hallway, to the girls' room, and she just crawls into Sophie's bed, and just holds her and cries.
And Sophie, yeah, she has no problem with you crawling into bed with her. And her and Carissa actually share a bed, so there's all three of you in this bed at one time.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they're dead tired. They fall right. They're asleep even if you're there crying. And yeah, is there anything else you do that evening?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You wake up in the morning and you get the kids ready like you normally would. You get ready for school like you normally would. And Tessa, or yeah, your mother comes up and says, Tessa. She has this smile, like this benevolent smile, like she's doing you some sort of favor. And she sort of smiles and she goes to hug you. How do you react to her hugging you?
I melt into her arms and just cry.
She gives you a squeeze and rubs your back and lets you cry and goes, Tessa, I promise we'll let you know as soon as we get there. Okay, we're only going to be maybe not even an hour away. Okay, maybe just over an hour. You're going to do great. You'll see.
I'm sorry. And I'll go over to the kids and I like kneel down, and I give KJ a big hug, and I pull out this like stuffed, like a little stuffed teddy bear for my things, and I give it to Carissa.
Okay.
And
I mean, how old is Carissa?
Carissa's
young,
3.
right?
Yeah,
3.
she's
Okay,
3.
so she giggles and takes it from you.
And then I go over to Sophie and I give her a big hug. And I kiss her on the forehead. And then I go to Caleb and I like kneel down so that I'm kind of like eye level with him. And I look him directly in the eyes and I say, "You have to take care of them."
How old is Caleb?
He's 11. He's kind of a little shit, but
he's also maybe a little wiser than his years, just due to his circumstance.
Yeah.
And he's somber. He knows this isn't. He knows there's something not right here. Maybe he can't put it into words just yet, but he knows something's not right. And he looks pretty sad too. He looks like he's about to well up. I mean, yes, he gives you shit. He causes all kinds of fucking trouble at school. He, he's constantly pissed at everybody. But he's not looking forward to. He's seen his mom be good and then bad too many times. He's like, you'll come see us.
Of course. Yes. You have my number. You know, if anything happens, you call me and I will be there. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I can't come with you. I love you.
I love you too. And he just pulls you into a big giant hug. He never hugs you. This kid hates hugs.
And as I hold him and I'll just say, "I'm so proud of you."
And he's crying. You can feel it. I mean, he rarely do tears come out of his eyes. He's lived a lot of life, this kid. But he's crying. And he pulls back and he's immediately wiping his eyes. He can't let you see that he's crying. And he sniffles and he nods and he goes, I've been learning. I know how to cook. And I know what to get at the grocery store. So I can help out.
You'll do great.
I got your number. Okay.
Be safe.
He nods and he grabs his bag and he runs out the door. Meanwhile, Brittany says, "Okay," and she sort of comes over to you. All the kids at this point are sort of ready to go out, and they're out in the hallway of the apartment building, waiting for her. And she sort of comes over to you and she goes, "Tessa, we're going to be an hour away. Nobody's dying. It'll be fine."
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good for you guys.
I left you $50 on the table. Okay. You have 3 more weeks to the end of the month.
I don't need the
And
money.
just
you need it more than I do.
then throw it in the trash, Tessa. I'm not taking it. Okay. It's not even my money. The church gave it to me. So spend it. Okay. Do something. Go nice. You're doing I hear there's a big party. You're popular. You're going to this thing, right? Come on. Just go and have a good time. And don't worry about the money. You can spend it all on booze and fucking pot or drugs or whatever the fuck you do. And don't worry about it. And we'll check in. I'll call you when we get there, okay? I'll send you a text when we get there so you know we get there safe. Okay. All right. Well, it's another big adventure. Here we go. And she turns around, and the last thing we see is her bundling the kids up as she shuts the door behind her, and we see Tessa sitting there staring at the door as the door goes shuts. And we cut to commercial. Oh, go ahead.
Before we do that, I think Tessa needs to roll to keep her cool.
Ooh, do it. Oh, yes.
Boy.
That's great. Perfect. That's with cold.
That's going to be a 6. That's a fail. So I think she watches them go. And as like as they drive off, she like grabs her purse, she puts on her shoes, and she goes to her car, and she just drives, and goes to like a highway or like one of the country roads, whatever, and just blares her music and drives as fast as she can, like 20-30 miles over the speed limit. Just drives into nowhere. Just with this like heavy punk music just blaring, windows down, and she's just sobbing, and is just driving.
And we see the camera sees that from looking like over the hood into the car, and it's going super fast, and she's crying, and we hear a Chaos Theory song, just fucking, the name of the song is "Killing Fascists is Always Morally Right" or something like that, and it is hardcore, it is insane, and the screen cuts to black, but the song is still playing, and slowly the song fades out, and then we cut to commercial, and we take a break. And there you go, folks. We're gonna take a break. That was that flew by. Frankly, that was great. Yeah, everybody, be back in 5-10 minutes, and we'll see you later. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. And here for part 2 of whatever session this is of RoguesPort, Monsterhearts story, the ties that bind, a Monsterhearts actual play podcast. All right. Here we go. So, as we get back from commercial, we go back a little bit to earlier in the same night. Or, well, I guess the night before, technically. And we're back at the web with V and her sisters and aunts and whatnot. V, who is currently in her darkest self, still, as far as I know. And as the night as the night calms down, I mean, all you people keep weird ass hours at the web, but regardless, it gets dark and people calm down. Raquel sort of pokes her head in and goes, V, can I talk to you for a second?
What do you want?
You've been here for a while, right? I mean, with the group, with the web?
Yeah. Mhm.
Has anyone ever left?
No. Why?
I'm not sure that this is something I want to do. Today was intense, V. Today was intense.
What did you think this was?
I mean, I knew intellectually what was going to happen. I didn't expect it to happen tonight, but no, I understand. And we only hurt. It's like she almost said kill, but then couldn't bring herself to say it and said hurt instead. Hurt people that deserve it, but it was so quick tonight, and you seemed just so good at it. I'm not sure if I ever can be.
We're all good at it. What do you mean? I mean, you can kill anybody you wanted to kill.
Right, but and she sort of pokes her head back out of the curtain for a second, just to make sure that nobody else is, standing nearby. And she gets quieter still. She goes, but what if I don't agree that a person deserves to be killed? Who do I tell?
I think V starts laughing and looks at her and says, I don't understand how Aurelia wants you to take her spot. You are not up to it. If you want to leave so bad, then try and leave.
And when you say that, it's obviously taken very much off guard. What are you talking about? Aurelia wants me to take her spot. Where's Aurelia going?
I mean, she's not going to be around forever. She thinks that you can do this, but clearly you can't.
And you've given her something to think about. She frowns and she looks down at her hands, and she's been picking at her cuticles on her fingernails. And she stops herself. Maybe would you be? And I hate to ask you this, V, but I don't really. You're the only person I can think of to ask. Could you talk to Aurelia for me?
About what?
About how serious she is about having me here? About how someone Surely not everybody stays forever.
Nobody has ever left.
Well, not that you know of, or me, but maybe there's. I mean, you don't have to, but I don't know. Maybe Amelia would know. Emily would know. It, V, I'm scared that I'm gonna do something wrong. You get somebody really hurt.
We don't make wrong choices.
And it's obvious that she doesn't understand what you're trying to tell her. She is. But V, I've never done this before. What was your first time like? Was it easy?
No. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not. What did you think I was going to ask you to do at the party?
You mean the masquerade party? I just thought I would watch you. What were you going to ask me to do?
Help me kill someone that deserves to die.
Before tonight, I was ready. I thought I knew what I was getting into, but I'm scared, V. And there is, I mean, for as scared as she may be coming off, there is a certain confidence that she can't hide. I mean, she knows how she feels, and she is not afraid to express that. I'm scared, V. And if I go to Aurelia and ask her, she is going to lose her shit. But she trusts you. She won't yell at you like she will at me. And if you ask her if I can go, she'll at least consider it.
Do you want to leave because you're scared? Is that it?
I don't know that I want to leave. I don't know that that's the case. I just want to know that there's a way to get out. I need a. I mean, you have an escape route, right?
No.
That seems to take her a little bit off guard. She was certain you did. You don't have a way out of this?
Why would I want to leave this?
You never know what's going to happen. I mean, if I didn't have a way out of my... And she sort of stops herself. The web, there's a sort of unspoken rule where you don't go into too much detail about why you joined. I mean, if it's important, of course, you say something, but it's an unwritten rule. So she starts to talk about where she came from and why she needs an out, and then she stops herself. And she says, having an escape route kept me alive. And I am shocked that you don't have one. You gonna be here forever?
I didn't get to have an escape. Why would I leave the people that have taken care of me, the people that... Okay, you're not ready. I'll talk to her. I'll get, I don't know, Onyx to help me next week.
Fine. She turns around. Bye. And she's pissed, and she slams the curtain as best she can and heads into her room, and you hear her turn her music up right before she puts her headphones on, even from across the little hallway there. And she's obviously done with you for the evening. What does V do?
Oh, I go to Aurelia immediately.
Right away. Okay.
Hmm.
Aurelia is reading Gloria Steinem and is pulls her glasses down over her nose as you approach. She goes, "It's my understanding you all had a interesting night."
She's not ready.
It was a mistake to get her here this soon. We should have vetted her more. I'm sorry, but
She
we don't have a choice.
leave. She wants to leave.
And she chuckles at first, like that's a joke, and then when she realizes you're not laughing, she takes her glasses off and sets her book down, and she sits up a little straighter in her bed. She goes, "She told you this?"
Yeah.
Well, we'll show her the error of her ways. She won't be able to leave. People don't leave. No one has ever left.
That's what I told her, and she asked me if I had an escape plan, and I'm not leaving.
Okay, well, you did the right thing. We don't abandon each other. None of us leave anyone behind. And if she were to go out into the world, I'm not going to allow her to be victimized by these men walking around out here. I refuse to allow it. I need you to roll. What do I need you to roll? I need you to roll a shut someone down roll.
Okay.
Not that you're necessarily shutting her down, but I'll let you know why.
Eight.
Okay. All right. Well, on an 8, you get to do something, but in the meantime, I keep losing this. On a 7 to 9, you come here. Okay. You get to choose. Okay, you come across poorly, you'll get a condition. And the condition I'm going to give you, and hopefully it becomes clear, will be too curious. You get the distinct impression. Oh, and you can either have a string on her or she loses a string on you. Did we tell you that she had a string on you? Okay, at the beginning I wasn't sure if I gave Aurelia strings on all the web.
Maybe. I feel like maybe that was something. So.
Okay. Well, you can either take that string away, or I'll let you choose to have a string on her if you like. That just sounds
Yeah,
like
I'll
fun.
take a string. Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's lying to you about something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know exactly what it is, but she's lying to you about something very specific. And she looks at you and goes, "I said thank you, V. I'll take care of it."
Good night.
And as you walk out of her room, Emily is standing sort of in her doorway for her bedroom, and she is looking at you, and she's got a very mysterious look on her face, like she wants to talk to you about something, but she hopes to God you don't ask her what. And she is staring at you, and after just a second, she just shakes her head, and she turns and goes back into her room. Basically, and their rooms are right next to each other. There's no doubt that if she wanted to, she could have overheard your conversation just now. That happens all the time here.
Can I roll to gaze into the abyss?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I have a dart.
Yes.
Okay. It'll be a 7.
Okay. Nope. Okay. Yes. You. What sort of question are you asking? What are you curious about?
I want to know what that look was from Emily or what she's
Okay.
doing.
You gaze into the abyss, and it's coming more easily to you now, especially, well, as an audience, we know it's probably because you're in your darkest self. And you stare, and you feel this coldness come over you. And once again, you get the same sort of monochrome look as the sort of swaying curtain stops swaying and freezes. And then you see tiny little spiders start crawling out of every crevice, crawling out of her room, crawling out of Aurelia's room, crawling up from the carpet or from the wood underneath your feet, crawling everywhere. And suddenly, till you look everywhere, every surface is covered in deadly poisonous black widow spiders. Black spiders with big abdomens with the red mark on them. And then, as a group, they start to take a certain like sway and sort of flow weirdly until you see they take the form of the same giant spider that you saw before, except made out of tiny little spiders. And it stares at you. And it's not actually staring at you. Let's say it's staring into Emily's room. She knows Aurelia doesn't tell you the truth. She knows the secret. She knows who's next. Ask her. Make her tell you. Do it. And it's not nearly as direct as it was before. And it starts to fade away. I mean, I'll even give you a chance to ask it a question if you want to, if you have one. If you don't, then it'll fade away.
I don't. Mm-mm.
So as you're sitting there and you hear this, and just as you start to put it in your head, these spiders go, and they all just skitter off, and they're gone. And you're back into your normal, you blink and you're back. And you're still looking at Emily's curtain sort of swaying a little bit. Where she
I'm going to go in there.
She is putting on her own set of reading glasses. Her and Aurelia tend to go to bed and read, apparently. And she looks up and goes, I can't tell you. That's what she says.
Yes, you can.
It's not my secret to give, V.
Then why even mention it?
She goes over to her, her dresser, and she pulls out what looks to be a bottle of brandy that she was hiding in her sock drawer or whatever. And she takes out 2 glasses, blows the lint off of them, and pours 2 shots of brandy, hands you one, and pours herself one. And she goes and turns on some music, a little stereo there. Not super loud, just, she doesn't want to bother anybody. And she walks over very close to you. Someone did leave, V. Someone has left. That person was very important to Aurelia. And Aurelia swore she would never let it happen again. cannot. I swore to her I would not tell, honestly, even that much. I'm pushing it to even say that. But we don't break promises to each other. And if I didn't think this was for Aurelia's best interests, I wouldn't be telling you this now. But someone left, and it broke her heart.
How long ago?
Years, gosh, I don't know, 18 years ago, 2 decades ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And ever since then, we have a whole new web at this point. Everyone who was here at that point, except for me, has moved on and created their own webs. And we've started some from scratch. But there is a way out if Raquel needs to leave. But Aurelia is the only one who can let it happen. I can't help you with that.
Thank you.
I trust you, V. You are the best thing that has come of this web in many, many years. And I'm going out on a limb. Okay?
I messed up a job.
What do you mean?
I wasn't supposed to kill him. I was just supposed to do intel. I liked it too much.
V, goddammit. Did you make a mess?
No. No.
Okay.
It's done. He just, the way he kept touching the woman in the bar, it just, I talked to her after, and I know I made the right decision. I just wasn't supposed to go that far, and I think it scared Raquel and made her want to leave.
Well, tomorrow's a new day. You did the right thing, I have no doubt. I'm not going to shed any tears over a dead man. Raquel has a lot of potential. I don't want her to leave. Aurelia has put all her eggs in one basket with that girl. I don't know why.
Mm.
But if you did it, I trust you. If Onyx did it, I would not trust her. But you did it, so I trust you.
Thank you.
Now get the hell out of here, okay? Go. Get to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
She does not turn her music down. She leaves it up. And yeah, then that's that. And the camera sort of goes out the window and flies through the skies of RoguesPort and lands on Noah coming back home from whatever she does after school. Maybe she has some sort of after school. Does she have some sort of after school thing? Let's say she does, because it would be a lot more convenient if she did.
I mean, she stays like after school. She plays the piano in the music room. She doesn't have
That's
one.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we have talked about that. That's right. So after piano practice, concert piano practice, she's just about to leave, and you get a text from your mom. It says, "I'm taking the kids to see a movie. Your dad is at church at an event. Dinner's in the fridge. Love you."
Send a thumbs up and then a heart emoji.
And she sends back the hug emoji, just because your mom can't let that go. And so, I assume, do you go straight home? Do you go somewhere else?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. When you get home, you're kind of surprised to see that your dad's car is in the driveway. And, yeah. So you sort of walk in, and almost all the lights are off. It's pretty dark, and the kitchen light is on, and there's a note on the table. It says dinner's in the fridge. I guess in case you didn't get the text or something, your mom had left you a note. And you go through, you almost miss it, but you sort of have to go through the front room before you get to the kitchen. And right before you get in the kitchen, you realize, wait a minute, and you turn around and your dad's sitting in the dark in the living room, and he's got a glass of liquor, probably whiskey, in his hand. And you notice him because he stands up and he goes to pour himself another glass at the stand over there. He turns and looks at you and goes, well, hey, look who finally made it home.
Oh, hey, Mom said you were at church. I didn't realize you were going to be home.
Hey, the event was canceled, so I decided to come home, have a drink.
Okay.
You want to drink with me? No. They're old enough, right?
Maybe where you're from, but I don't think here I am. I mean, if you're offering, sure.
All right. He takes out a glass. He pours you some, and it's Irish whiskey. He hands it to you, and you get a whiff of it, and it's strong. Now to Noah, how strong would that be, though?
Probably not very.
Okay.
Just the dulling of the senses is probably just very like smells like alcohol.
That's right. Okay. So you take this whiskey and drink it, and he's impressed. He like raises his eyebrows and goes, well, at least you can do that. Look, I don't want to keep you. I didn't expect to be here. I know you didn't expect me here. You go have fun, do what you want. And he is looking at you. He's had more than two. And he is looking at you with, I don't want to say anger, but he wants to just tell you what he really thinks. And you can see that look in his eye. But he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna go like do some homework. I just was playing the piano at school. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. And as you sort of, he sits there long enough that you eventually just have to accept that and you start to walk off. But right as you walk off, you hear him, as he's already sat back down in his chair. What the fuck are you, Noah?
Noah just kind of like turns around. What do you mean? I'm your daughter.
My daughter died. And instead I got you back. What are you?
No, I'm still here. I'm the same.
You've not aged a day.
I was just a late bloomer.
He chuckled. Let me tell you a story. When I was a younger man, family was very religious. Went to church 3 times a week. One day, I had, it sounds funny to say it today, but I had a vision. I was visited. That's what they call it back home. I was told that I would bring into the world a saint, maybe. Or a savior, maybe. That it was very important. And I was so certain that it was the right thing to do that I never doubted for a minute. It happened right before I met your mother. She believed me. No one else did. She trusted me. She's a better person than me in pretty much every way. I love her dearly. But you see, I was told that my firstborn son would be this gift to the world.
Adam is your firstborn son.
What? Go ahead. How to put this? My firstborn was supposed to be a son, Noah. But instead I got you. That day I saw you born, I realized I was crazy. I was a fucking madman. I wasn't gonna sire some wonderful savior of the world. Just gonna sire another girl. Just some other kid like any other kid who I loved very much. Just like I love your sisters and your brothers. And when I found out that that God had given you this tumor in your head, I realized, well, that does it then, doesn't it? I mean, you're obviously not sent by God if he's going to be the one to take you out of the game. Your mother never once doubted. She swore that you were special, swore that you were unique. And when you came back, well, that just proved it to her, didn't it? But you know the truth, don't you, Noah? You tell me.
Truth about what?
How special are you, Noah? How unique? Are you here to save the world, Noah?
No.
What? I didn't hear that.
No. I'm not here to save the world.
I agree. So if I didn't get a vision from an angel, what the hell did I see?
I don't know. You said you were the crazy one.
He grins. Cruelly, he grins. But I saw something. But I was being tricked, wasn't I? Wasn't an angel. Some sort of demon. And you don't even have the decency to stay dead. You walk around here like some sort of walking blasphemy. Some sort of vulgarity. Just trotting about like it's nothing special. I'm supposed to sit here and treat you like you're just my daughter.
I am.
You are.
Were you happy? With the diagnosis, were you happy? That make you happy?
No. I cried. I wept. I loved my daughter. Loved her dearly. I did everything I could. I prayed 10 times a day. Fat lot of good it did me. He drains his glass.
Praying didn't save me. Praying won't save you.
You want to know what I pray for now?
What, that I stay dead?
Maybe. Maybe I pray for the day that God rights this wrong. God knows I don't have the strength for it. Even though you're not my daughter, you have her face. I can't raise my hand against you.
God isn't going to right this wrong. nothing wrong. You don't think I've tried, though?
Have you now?
Do you even care?
I don't know that I believe you. What'd you do?
Oh, you want to know all of them or just the first one?
He narrows his eyes. You're a fucking liar.
No one's gonna take the glass and break it and pick up a shard of it. And she's going to look at him and say, yeah, I died. And I thought that I was going to go to this grand place, this wonderful place. God didn't save me. God sure as fuck isn't going to save you. And she's gonna slit her throat.
Fucking hell! That's all you hear. And he stands up in shock. But then he makes eye contact with you. And it's not going to take long. I mean, this doesn't take long. But the last thing you hear, as everything goes black, oh, thank fucking God. And we cut to credits. And then we hear the theme song come up. We hear the music. And Ties That Bind, RoguesPort comes over, everybody. Whew. Well, there you go. So see what happens when we miss a week. See what happens.
Everybody gets
See what the people make me do.
I'm gonna go have a drink. God.
I was on the verge of tears that whole entire scene.
I had to
I was in mine
channel an
too.
angry drunk.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Allie, I cannot wait to kill your daddy.
Oh.
Okay, well we're gonna let everybody go. Thanks for watching, everybody out there. This is amazing. I love these people. I love you people. I can't wait till next week, and we'll see where all this goes. Hell, we got a party to go to, folks. What the hell? Come on.
Oh my God.
We still haven't got to that damn party.
Every season, it's like all of this dramatic shit is happening, but then there's also like a party or a dance.
A football game.
Yeah.
Still high school.
All right. Well,
Cool.
let's call it. And yeah, everybody, thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.